So just think this is your hometown and see you playing in the street with this kind of a bomb effect. That is the daily life of the Middle East people. So much chaos, so much destruction, so much bombings, and so much death. And that's where my topic starts: history, recents, and effects of Middle East terrorism. Now, let's get back to a century like 1900s, when US made an alliance with Saudi Arabia in terms of business, and later half, when during the World War, the Caliph of Islam, that is the top like Pope in Christianity, was being demolished, or like it was prohibited. Now that point of time, who will take this lead? Who will take to be the best of the Islamic connectivity in the world? And therefore, Sunni and Shia got split. Respectively, Sunni is Saudi Arabia and Shia supporters are from Iran. Though they never declared Cold War on each other, or they never declared war on each other, a Cold War is happening in the Middle East. And that's where it all starts. War in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and everything is the beginning for this Cold War to get the power of who is the real superhead of Islam. And simultaneously, when 1979, when the Iranian Revolution broke out, the people didn't want the government to rule. And a subjectively a new ruler was coming there. And he was so hungry to get a new Islamic head of the whole world as Iran itself. And there the problem all starts. Now, in 1980s, the rise of Saddam Hussein in Iraq really threatened the Iran people. They don't want Saddam to rise over and take all the Islamic people of the world in one way. So, Iraq invaded Iran, that is Saudi Arabia, I beg your pardon, that is Saddam Hussein invaded Iran in 1980s. Now, as you can see, basically Saudi Arabia people supported Saddam Hussein in order to get rid of Iran, as the war is between Sunni and Shia. Meanwhile, the failure of many governments and the atrocities of the Assad government in Syria broke to many rebels, and those rebels or civilians joined many militant groups in order to get the power, in order to get the things back on their way. And therefore, to overthrow the Egyptian government and get the power, the Egyptian Islamic Jihad was formed in 1970. Also, Al-Gamad, the largest militant group, was also formed in the particular time. And to overthrow the Israeli government, the Palestine Islamic Jihad was also formed, and the Palestine Liberation Organization was also formed, and the very known Hezbollah was also formed in 1967. And also to form an Islamic government, the people of Yemen also formed an armed Islamic group that is completely anti-US, as well as, and then again Islamic Army was also formed in 1990s. When we are talking about this, what's happening in India is also a form of such things. That is, to get Kashmir to Pakistan and to fight against India, HUM, that is Hazrat ul Mujahideen, as well as Jaish-e-Mohammed, that is Army of Muhammad, was also formed in 1990s. When these all militant groups are formed just because of the effects of the Middle East terrorism, or the Middle East effect to the globe, then normally they have to say Al-Qaeda. In 1990s, it coordinated to form an Islamic state and to widen the Mujahideen government, and to the removal of the foreign presence. Saddam Hussein began everything. And not on that, IS also was there later half. In 1999, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, founded by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, formed this Al-Qaeda. Well, when these all things were happening, they were fighting for their own lands. What was the way why US invaded things? I don't know why. Well, in 2003, US invaded Iraq, and they assassinated Saddam Hussein. Now, when there's a land without a government, when there's a land without anything, and US invaded and they failed to provide a government, a proper solution for those people, there it became a free war land for everybody to fight for it. And therefore, extreme militant group things and the Sunni-Shia war basically struck in. Yes. As you can see in the map, the red and the blues. The Gulf states of Saudi Arabia, basically supported with Jordan and Turkey, are fighting against the rebels of Assad government that's happening in Syria. And the Assad government, which is backed by Iran, was also backed by Russia in perhaps. And these blues are from US supported, and this Russia are being red guys. So as if these things were happening, they started to bring the revolution countries and to fight in Middle East in a militant way. And to particularly say the reasons of such Middle East terrorism was also the failure of Britain that to form a proper solution for the Israeli-Palestine issue. And also the US invasion in Middle East. I don't know what the job was US doing there, but they invaded Middle East and they collapsed everything. And US-Russia Cold War backing these Middle East countries to prove that they are the best people in the world is also a fine reason. And the failure of Syria, Iran, and also their government is also a reason. And the atrocities of Assad government, they used to bomb the civilians in the whole way, is also a political reason why Syria is still having this kind of a situation. Now, you'll be thinking how these terrorist groups get funds. Mostly through illegal activities and basically through charities and all the friend companies who secretly invest to terrorism in order to get rid of the other companies in the other country. And also cryptocurrencies was also a new way to get the currencies transferred to the other way. Now you'll be also thinking that what would be a cost of a certain terrorist activity? Ever thought? Well, I'll tell you an example. The 9/11 cost about $500,000. Now what would be supposed to do $500,000? They just did bomb blasted 2 towers. In 2002, the Bali bomb almost cost $50,000. And in 2004, the Madrid blast almost cost $20,000. That is equal to 1 million Indian money. Man, 1 million Indian money. And that's just gone for blasting things. And the religious reasons is also a particular reason for Middle East terrorism. That is like Islam versus Christianity, Jews versus Christianity. There's also particular reasons why these things are all happening. In 2011, when this Assad government was doing atrocities, the peace civilians broke out and they started gunfighting against the government. And that's where the militant groups get these people around. And if you basically see Syria, that is like, I think I should get this. Yes, thanks. Now, Syria is divided into 4 if you see. Basically, Shia supported government like Hezbollah, Assad, Russia, Iran on the other part. And the next part is our favorite IS. And the other part, Kurds from Iraq. And the next part is Turkey, Gulf states, and Jordan. If you see this picture, you can see that the whole middle part in the black, the dark black, is the territory of IS itself. Backed by these countries, it's US and Turkey and France and Palestine. Everything is surrounding them as IS, the Islamic State, was issued, and they launched their territory to the whole world with this militant force. And when these things were happening, Assad government fought against these rebels, and that is, of course, the IS groups and Al-Qaeda, etc. In 2012, Al-Qaeda entered Syria to support the rebels in turn to fight against the Assad government. Now, Iran was backed by Assad government, as well as Assad government was backed by